Hello and welcome. For Halt International Business School, I'm Andrew Hubert, and I will be teaching the upcoming online version of international negotiation. Now, we put this class online briskly, quickly, but in a controlled fashion. I've been teaching this course face-to-face for a number of years, but there was always an online component. The big change is what I'm introducing now. I've taken the entire course and I've converted it into a series of tools, or a toolkit, or a toolbox. And this is my effort to make the academics and the theory of the course more relevant and more experiential. So let me just introduce the cross-cultural negotiating toolkit, and then you can start to access the videos and the spreadsheets at your own pace. So the takeaway for the toolkit idea. Tools are a starting point for applying theory to practice. So there's an impressive reading list behind this course, and I will publish that at the end. But for now, I would like you to start thinking about how you're going to take these ideas from the course and start turning them into strategy and tactics right away. I'm showing you everything in order, and there is definitely an order here, but this is a toolbox approach, so I expect you to access these tools in a random fashion as needed. In other words, these are going to solve specific problems, so you don't have to go back to start every time you want to examine something new, but I do expect you to know enough about the tools in advance that you know which ones are helpful. And I know that some of the tools overlap and are redundant. That's okay, that's baked in, and that's fine. You don't have to tell me every time. And the main function of negotiating is to set and to control the agenda. And when I talk about a negotiating agenda, what I mean are variables plus process plus relationship. That is our goal, and our best practices all center around controlling the negotiating agenda. And here's the table of contents for the work we'll be doing today. The worksheet, called the Goblins worksheet, is the system. We'll be talking more about that random access idea. We'll talk about how to enhance the online experience of learning a skill online. Look at red flags and bottlenecks, and we'll finish up by looking at some best practices. So there is the Goblins planning worksheet, and it's called Goblins because we're looking at goals, objectives, and best alternatives in the strategy section. And then we get down to tactics. We'll be deciding what variables we like, what are intermediate benchmarks, and what we need or there's no deal. And finally, we'll be looking at our conflict management style. Put it all together, it spells Goblins. It's driven by your goals. So that's the first thing we're going to be working on. That's the value add of this system is that we go in a very orderly fashion from strategic planning to tactical execution. And finally, we think about the styles and the behaviors that we exhibit to the other side and what styles and behaviors they are exhibiting to us. All right. The second point here is that this is random access. Tools solve problems and they help you respond to situations. So you don't have to, I'm giving you 12 tools. You don't have to use every single one in every case. What you're doing is you're using these tools and techniques to look for blind spots and unknowns. That's one of the main uses of this, aside from the advantages of using these tools to coordinate groups. When we talk about the online experience, this is something where I'm really trying to get value using this toolkit, because I don't think online courses where you just listen to me and write things down do much good. We need a lot of group work. We need experiential learning. And that does work in an online situation, but it's a little bit different. So that's why I'm sending you the tools and I'm sending you the tactics beforehand. I want you to get familiar with that so that when it comes time for us to work together and for you to work together in groups, you will be ready to have substantive, content-rich conversations. You're not just talking about what the different terms mean. You're coming in ready to work as a group. So let's talk about a couple of red flags and bottlenecks. The number one red flag is using the tool to verify and to reinforce your preconceived ideas. No. Use these tools to surface information and to coordinate your thinking among your team. The second warning that goes along with that is don't ignore inconvenient data or findings that the tools surface just because it's inconvenient and will cause problems with your stakeholders at home. And because of the online situation, I'm throwing in a third warning. There should be a lot of voices here. Everyone should have an opinion. So that means everyone has to participate. And once people are participating, it's important that everyone is heard. And in online environments, that creates a couple of challenges that we don't have face-to-face. So we're going to be monitoring our internal culture. As individuals and as the emerging culture of the group to make sure that we're getting maximum participation. Best practices: use tools to facilitate group conversation and group efforts. Use the tools to focus and attack weaknesses and blind spots. Team leaders can use these tools to encourage specialization and to delegate tasks to make sure everyone on the team is participating and getting an opportunity to be heard. And remember, it's all about the agenda. This is our main best practice when it comes to international negotiation. The team that controls the agenda controls the negotiation. And that's something I want you to take away in life after this course. All right, so final word. The videos for the toolkit are available on the class YouTube channel, and they should also be on the Thinkific platform, which will be up and running soon. And I will send around the links to that as soon as I get them. You can download the forms and tables either on the Slack account, which I've sent around invitations for, or on Canvas. And if you're still having trouble getting it from those sources, just email me and I will send it to you directly. Okay, thanks very much. I look forward to working with you.